You're asleep, completely unconscious. The world could change around you, and for hours you wouldn't know. By every biological definition, you are vulnerable. Now imagine you're not in your bedroom. You're in a tent. A thin sheet of fabric separates you from a forest filled with animals that could kill you if they wanted to. Lions, bears, wolves, leopards, creatures that can smell you from incredible distances, hear movements you can't detect, and navigate darkness far better than you ever could. Yet most people who sleep outdoors wake up safely every morning. Why? A sleeping human should be the perfect target. You can't run. You can't fight. You often won't even realize danger is present until it's already upon you. From a predator's perspective, you seem like an easy opportunity. But in reality, large predators rarely approach sleeping humans. And the reason is far more fascinating than most people realize. It begins with a strange truth. To many predators, humans are frightening, not because we're physically impressive. We're not especially fast. We don't have claws. We aren't the strongest animals for our size. Compared to many predators, we're surprisingly fragile. But predators don't judge danger the way humans do. They judge it through experience and evolution. In 2019, researchers studying mountain lions in California played recordings of ordinary human voices near feeding sites. The results were remarkable. The mountain lions immediately abandoned the area. Many even left behind food they had already killed. Think about that. A predator willingly gave up a meal simply because it heard human voices nearby. From an evolutionary perspective, that's expensive. Every hunt costs energy. Abandoning food means accepting hunger. Yet the animals still chose distance over dinner. Why? Because for thousands of generations, avoiding humans has been a successful survival strategy. This pattern appears all over the world. Lions often avoid areas with frequent human activity. Tigers give villages a wide berth. Jaguars alter their movements to stay away from people. These animals are fully capable of attacking humans. They simply prefer not to, and that preference may be the result of one of the most powerful forces in nature: natural selection. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans have hunted predators. The animals that approached humans too aggressively often died. The animals that stayed away survived. Those survivors reproduced. Generation after generation, caution became part of the behavioral blueprint of many large predators. Today, when a leopard catches your scent at night, it doesn't consciously remember human history. But somewhere deep within its instincts exists an inherited warning. Be careful. Keep your distance. Move on. That ancient caution has been reinforced for thousands of years. Then there's another factor: your smell. Humans rarely think about this because we're constantly surrounded by other humans. Our scent feels normal to us. But to a predator, it's anything but normal. Large carnivores experience the world through smell in ways we can barely imagine. Many can detect scents from extraordinary distances. When they encounter a human, they aren't just smelling a primate. They're smelling clothing, soap, shampoo, sunscreen, plastic, processed food, smoke, countless artificial chemicals that don't naturally exist in wild ecosystems. To a predator, a human doesn't smell like familiar prey. You smell unusual, and unusual things create uncertainty. Predators prefer certainty. A wolf understands deer. A lion understands antelope. These animals have evolved alongside their prey for millions of years. They recognize movement patterns, body shapes, behavior, escape responses. Humans don't fit any of those categories. We're anomalies. And anomalies often trigger caution rather than aggression. Then there's fire, one of humanity's oldest inventions. Long before cities, long before agriculture, long before writing, humans mastered fire. Most land animals instinctively avoid it. The fear of fire is ancient. Animals that feared wildfires survived. Animals that didn't often perished. Over countless generations, avoiding fire became deeply embedded in animal behavior. For most of human history, people slept beside fires. The fire provided warmth, but it also provided protection. A campfire broadcasts a message into the darkness. Something unusual is here. Something dangerous. Something capable of controlling fire. Predators learned to respect that signal long ago. Even today, the sight and smell of fire remain powerful deterrents. But perhaps the biggest misunderstanding about predators comes from movies. Popular culture portrays apex predators as fearless killing machines. The reality is almost the opposite. Predators are cautious, extremely cautious, because every hunt involves risk. A lion with a broken leg is in serious trouble. A wolf with a severe injury may starve. A damaged eye or infected wound can become a death sentence. Predators don't have hospitals. They don't get second chances. Every decision is a calculation. Is this prey worth the risk? Can I catch it safely? Will the reward justify the danger? Humans often fail that calculation. Not because we're unbeatable, because we're unpredictable. A predator understands how a deer behaves. It understands how a zebra reacts. But humans are different. We might shout. We might fight. We might have tools. We might have other humans nearby. Even asleep, we're unpredictable. And uncertainty creates risk. There's another detail many people overlook. Humans are surprisingly large. When standing upright, we're taller than many prey animals. Researchers have noted that bipedal posture itself can function as a threat signal. Many animals stand upright when attempting to intimidate rivals or predators. Humans do it all the time. To other species, our body shape can appear more imposing than our actual physical strength suggests. Even a sleeping human doesn't resemble typical prey. The silhouette is wrong. The smell is wrong. The behavior is wrong. Everything about us sits outside the normal hunting template. And when predators encounter something unfamiliar, caution usually wins. There's also the fact that humans rarely exist alone. Throughout our evolutionary history, we survived in groups. We traveled in groups. We slept in groups. Predators understand group dynamics very well. A single, isolated animal is an attractive target. A group is not. If one human wakes up and reacts, others may follow. What looked like a simple opportunity can suddenly become a complicated and dangerous situation. Predators prefer easy hunts. Groups make hunts difficult, and difficulty increases risk. Of course, none of this means attacks never happen. They do. But when researchers examine many of these incidents, patterns emerge. The predators involved are often injured, old, starving, or living in environments where normal prey has become scarce. Sometimes they have become accustomed to human presence. Sometimes they have learned to associate humans with food. In many cases, something disrupted the normal balance. The usual caution was overridden by desperation. Healthy predators in healthy ecosystems generally avoid unnecessary risks, and humans usually qualify as unnecessary risks. Yet there is one final twist. Humanity's ability to inspire fear in predators has become so powerful that it now affects entire ecosystems. When predators avoid humans, their prey often becomes more abundant. More deer, more smaller animals, more grazing pressure on vegetation. One behavioral change spreads outward through the food web. Ecologists call these cascading effects, and many of them begin with a simple fact. Animals are afraid of us. Not because we're the strongest species, not because we're the fastest, but because we've spent hundreds of thousands of years becoming one of the most influential forces in the natural world. We shape ecosystems simply through our presence. We change animal behavior without touching them, without chasing them, without even seeing them. Our reputation arrives before we do, and that's perhaps the strangest part of all. The most dangerous animal on Earth isn't necessarily the one with the sharpest teeth or the strongest bite. It's the one that learned to control fire, the one that learned to cooperate in groups, the one that learned to survive generation after generation. That's us. So the next time you find yourself lying awake in a tent, listening to strange sounds beyond the thin wall of fabric, remember something. Your fear is ancient. It helped your ancestors survive. But the creature outside the tent may be feeling something surprisingly similar, because for thousands of generations, evolution has been teaching it the exact same lesson. Be careful around humans.